Hello everybody. Today I'd like to talk about the Dunning-Kruger effect. Apparently the Dunning-Kruger effect is a cognitive bias towards people that know a little bit about a topic but not a lot about a topic. I know personally myself, I have had this issue in my life. There's been times when I've thought I knew more about a topic than what I did, and I would just fight over the issue with my ego defense, I guess you can call it. I've known lots of people in my life that have had this problem. I'm sure all of you have known a lot of people with this issue. I personally blame a lot of this issue with the Dunning-Kruger effect on our school system. I've been battling with myself since I was a child, wondering, why people were exhibiting this effect. I mean, back then I didn't even know that it had an actual name. I mean, I just thought that most people were stupid, and I've known a lot of people that think that most people are stupid. But apparently it's this Dunning-Kruger effect that is causing people to think they know more about a topic than what they actually do. So they think that they're an expert on a certain topic, so they're willing to fight with their egos tooth and nail to be right about that topic, even though they're not right about the topic. And I know not everybody suffers from the Dunning-Kruger effect in every aspect of their life. I mean, you could be a bad driver and think that you're a good driver because of this Dunning-Kruger effect. So just because you're a bad driver doesn't mean that you have to always stay a bad driver. I mean, anybody can get better at anything that they want to. All they have to do is just kind of like Alcoholics Anonymous. First, you have to accept the fact that maybe you're not as good or you don't know as much about it as what you originally thought. Then the next step would be to learn, like go back to the drawing board and relearn what you thought you were an expert at and keep learning until you are an actual expert at it. That's why shows exist where, like Canada's Worst Driver or whatever, because people think that they are good drivers even though they're horrible drivers, and other people realize that they are horrible drivers because they are good enough of a driver that they can realize when they see a bad driver. So everyone's got areas of brilliance and everybody's got areas of stupidity, but it doesn't mean that you can't get rid of this Dunning-Kruger effect. I mean, if you get rid of your ego, then you might realize the issues that you are weak on, and then all you have to do is go study them and you can become better at them. And if you're not good at it and you're not interested in studying it, you'll at least know that you don't know nothing about the topic if you've gotten rid of your ego, and you just won't talk about it like you think you know when you don't know. But I think school could go more in depth into important topics so that people actually do know more, so that they don't exhibit this Dunning-Kruger effect. But since our educational system in North America and other countries probably have the same problem, so since the educational system's not good enough and it's not teaching you the right things when you're in school, you're exhibiting the Dunning-Kruger effect, I think, way more than what anybody ever needs to. I've always asked myself how we could have a better society, because society has always seemed screwed up to me, and I'm sure a lot of you feel that society is screwed up a lot as well. So I've always thought that the only way that we could control people in society and keep them from their stupidity affecting other people is either by passing laws, which is what's happening right now. I mean, the government just keeps passing law after law after law, but those laws, once they're passed, take away people's free will. And I've always believed in a free society where people make their own choices, and really the only way we can have a good and free society is if people do get to make their own choices rather than being told. And when laws are passed, that's basically just the government's telling everybody how they should act and how they shouldn't act, and that does not lead to a society that anybody wants to live in. I mean, that just leads to people not having rights and freedoms to do what they want in their life, and they should have those rights. I mean, we've all were born onto this planet. We all came into the world the same, so nobody deserves to be more special than anybody else. And like I said, everybody has aspects that they are brilliant at, and everybody has aspects that they suck at. And if you talk about an area that you're no good at and you talk like you are the best at it, I mean, that's the Dunning-Kruger Effect as a whole. So, I mean, the only way that we can have a better society is either by the government passing laws and telling people what they can or cannot do, or by having a better educational system. People can fix this by learning on their own, so you don't have to have the government passing laws. You don't have to have the educational system being good if people are choosing to learn on their own. But the only way we can have a good and free society is if everybody is educated and if everybody realizes their faults and accepts responsibility for them and doesn't talk about stuff when they don't know about those things. So, I mean, it's always good to have discussions about things with people that you don't know a lot about, because, I mean, that's one way that we can learn, other than picking up a book or watching a YouTube video or watching a documentary on something. I mean, talking to people and getting their advice on a topic is another good way to learn. So if you want to become better at a topic, I'm not saying don't talk about it. I'm just saying you need to be open-minded about what you do know and you don't know. And if you've accepted the fact that you don't know a lot about a topic, I mean, that's the first step into moving forward, into knowing more about that topic. So I personally feel like if we increase our educational system in North America, that it's going to get rid of a lot of the problems. People need to take personal responsibility for their education outside of school as well, because there's only so much time and energy that the school can put into our educations. So I do feel that education in Canada should be free. I know for the most part it's mostly free while you're in elementary, junior high, and high school. Like, it doesn't cost very much, but that's probably part of the reason why it's not a very good education either, is because a lot of it is controlled by the government, and everybody knows that the government doesn't run things efficiently, that there's a lot of wasted money in a lot of the programs that they run. Government agencies are given a budget and they intentionally try to go over budget and use their whole budget so that they can get bigger budgets for following years. So everybody's heard about that. I mean, that's part of the reason why the government doesn't run things efficiently and never will run things efficiently, because there's just a lot of red tape. I mean, like 90% of the tax dollars that are taken are spent in red tape with the government, and you're lucky if you get 10% out the other side in services for the people. So there's better ways of doing things than having everything government ran. There's better ways of doing things than having the government pass laws. But all of us as citizens need to take responsibility for our part of it, which means we need to educate ourselves outside of school. about topics that interest us and sometimes about topics that don't interest us. If we want to live in a better society, we're the only ones that can make the society better. And everybody should be involved in politics, because right now we're supposed to be living in a democracy, but all the leaders are chosen at the party meetings. So if you're not going to the party meetings, you're not getting to vote on who's going to be the leader of the party that you are wanting to vote for. So if everybody gets involved more in politics, then it will actually be a true democracy. Whereas right now, we only have the leaders to vote on that are given to us, and a lot of times that doesn't give us a choice, because we're not going to the meetings, so we're actually technically not getting to pick who's being put in leadership. So if you're not in those party meetings to vote for the people that are actually deserving of the position, then you really have no say in the political system. So I mean, everybody should pick a party and start going out to all the party meetings. And that's one way that we're going to fix the problems in this country. The other way is everyone becoming self-learned at school. And I mean, I don't want to be on a board of education. Haven't been interested in going to school to become a teacher. I mean, but being a teacher seems to be necessary. People are needing to learn outside of their comfort zone, outside of their expertise. So that's why I have finally started a business, because I've realized that people need to be educated more often than what they are doing themselves, because of the fact they didn't get educated in school. So I'm kind of trying to take it upon myself to spread more knowledge, and I might have to go and get on an educational board of directors to help change the educational system. I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I mean, it's a big task, but I mean, I got to start somewhere. So that's why I'm doing these videos now. That's why I got a free information site. I mean, I'm trying to get my business going so I can make some money, so I can have more options for supporting kids while they are in school. And I mean, I'm coming up with new ideas every day on how to better our educational system and try to bring awareness to things like the Dunning-Kruger Effect, to bring awareness to things like people's egos. I mean, those are all things that have interested me for a long period of time, and all things that I'm wanting to talk to people about now, because I have been learning about it. So I just want everybody to know that not everybody out there is stupid. I mean, I know it seems like that, but that's because, you know, groups and certain individuals are stupid about certain things, but like I said, they're brilliant about other things. So I don't really think there's a such thing as a stupid person. There's just uneducated people or ignorant people. And the ignorant people, I find, are ignorant because they let their egos control their lives too much. So that leads to their cognitive bias with the Dunning-Kruger effect a lot. But anybody can be educated, anybody can be taught. We need a more free society, not all these laws being passed. I just want everybody to know that as long as we all start working together, we're all going to be able to come through what's going on right now.